Good morning, everybody. Since there's no UFC this week, I'm going to be covering what's called Road to the UFC, where the winner of each weight class will end up getting a UFC contract. There is 4 episodes, and today I will be covering episode 1 and episode 2, which will be Thursday morning. The first one starts at 7 a.m. and the second one starts at 10 a.m. Just keep in mind that more than likely, whatever sport book you have, once 7 a.m. hits, they will more than likely take all of the episode 1 fights down. And same with once 10 a.m. hits, they will take all of those fights down also. So there's no opportunity for live wagering, and there's like if you think the one flight's going to start at 11 a.m. and you get on there at 10:15, it's already going to be gone. So you really got to put your wagers in beforehand, and there's really only very little opportunities to even hedge on this. So let's get going on this. So the first fight is going to be the only female fight on the card on any one of the episodes. So therefore, whoever wins this fight is going to get a UFC contract. And we have on this fight here, here we go. It's Zayakon Fang versus Arisa Matsusuda. Now, Fang has already been in the UFC for one fight. She had won the Road to the UFC already, and then she had one fight in the UFC, and she was winning the first 2 rounds, and then she got brutally knocked out with a head kick. So I'm not really sure on the reason why she got dropped, but she did, and now she's back in Road to the UFC. She's a minus 300, and I'm on her. I'm going to use her as a parlay piece, and I will pull that parlay up as we get going a little bit farther. So that's the first fight of the night, and I'm on Fang. I don't have any props for this, no round props, no anything, but I will mention some round props that I do like as we get going. And if you have a book that has a knockout prop or a decision prop, I'll give a couple of those out too. So our second fight of the night is going to be, I have no idea. I'm going to say Wataru Yamauchi versus Namasara Botbar. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's my best version of it. So, and on this one here, I missed a good line on Yamauchi. It opened up at a plus 100 yesterday when they first came out, and I hesitated on taking it. I was going to take it, and then I was like, yeah, I'll wait. Well, I waited, and now it's a minus 142. So I still do like him on the money line. He's going to be quicker. He's going to have more power. He's going to be the better striker by far. Botbar is definitely going to try and grapple. That's pretty much what he does. So it's going to be striker versus grappler. And I think that Yamauchi is going to be able to stuff all of his takedowns, if not all of them, majority of them. And when he does, and if he does get taken down, I see him getting right back up. So I still like him at a minus 142. Personally, I'm probably going to pair it with another fight later on in the card, and that'll bring it to a plus 100. And I'm going to bring up my plays to scroll down at the bottom right now. so that you guys can all see. I'm going to run my ticker right now. So these at the bottom are my plays, but I'm going to keep on running through the card while the plays scroll at the bottom. And then the next fight is going to be Kirchiro Nakamura versus Eo Yin Park. Park is a minus 350 for a reason. He's going to be better everywhere, and more than likely he's going to look to grapple. And so I see him winning this fight fairly easily. There's not really a lot more for me to break down on this one. He's a minus 360 right now, or minus 340, right in that range. And I like him a lot for a parlay piece. And then our next fight is going to be here we go. Xiaoyan versus Kai Yoshida. This one here is, I gotta look at mine. Yin's gonna look to grapple also, and I'm on Yin as a lean, but it's a no bet for me. I don't know too much about him, but it seems to be a bad matchup for Yoshida. So I think Yin is going to be the better grappler, and he's going to be the slightly better striker, and he's going to be quicker, faster. He's just going to be a step ahead of him, but it's a no bet for me. I don't have anything on this one. You could use Yin as a parlay piece, but I'm not going to. And then our next fight is going to be Yaiz Kataratov versus Manchir Kara. This is probably the one fight I'm most excited for. Kara is a short replacement fighter on this card, but he's very good. He's 8-0 in his career. He's currently the Fury FC champ. He's had 3 straight finishes. I'm looking for him to get a finish here, but at a minus 270, he's the last piece of one of my parlays, I believe. So if you look at the bottom, I've got Fang, Park, and Kara at a plus 131 parlay. I like that a lot. So, and if you wanted to hedge, you might have a chance to if the Park fight ends before 9:30, before 10 a.m. I should say, because the Kara fight will be up on DraftKings until 10 a.m. So if you get the first 2 right, and I purposely did it this way so that the last leg was on the second episode. I purposely did it like this so that if people did want to hedge, they could. I'm probably not going to, but we'll see when the time comes. I may change my mind at the last second, like always. So, but I really like him to be better everywhere. He's got more power. He's the more technical striker. I'll be looking for if an under 2.5 pops up at a decent price, I'll probably take that as a single. And then our next fight is going to be Rio Turto versus Aaron Tao. This is another one where I think Tao is another good UFC prospect. I think he's gonna have an easy time in here. Tao was already on the Contender Series, and he won his first fight on the Contender Series, but then he went up against Elijah Smith and lost to Elijah Smith, who's currently in the UFC. So that's not a bad loss. He actually did have a good third round against Elijah Smith, though. So I really like him to be the better striker, to have more power, to have the better cardio. And if he has to, he could wrestle if he has to. So I like him to be pretty much better everywhere, and the line indicates that he's a minus 575. So as you can see, I've got Yamauchi, or no, I don't have it listed on there, but what I'm going to play is Yamauchi money line and Tao on the money line, and that brings that two piece to a plus 100. So I'm going to play that. And then our next fight is going to be Yin Yao versus Chang Min Yoon. Chang Min Yoon. This is a stay away for me, but Chang Min Yoon should win. I think he's going to be better pretty much everywhere, but it's another fight that I don't know too much about, so I'm gonna just watch this fight and enjoy it. This one's a stay away for me. And then we've got this one here. I spelt his name wrong. I'm sorry. That first G is supposed to be an A. I don't even know how to pronounce it, to be honest. Agalulai versus Murdal Saka, I guess. And Aguilar is going to be a heavy favorite. He's a minus 700, but he's only 20 years old, so just proceed with caution. But he's really good. He's a crate. He's going to be patient on his feet, and he's a great grappler. Like, he's going to grapple this dude for as long as it takes. I'm expecting him to get a first round finish, but he could go all 3 rounds if he has to. I have no idea if I'm going to have an opportunity to play him in any way, though, because his line is a minus 700, and that's the only option I have for him. I don't have an under, nothing. Like, if an under 2.5 or an under 1.5 pops up at a good price, I'll probably take it. But if they do pop up, it's going to be late tonight. So just keep your eye open on whatever books you have. And just remember that the first letter of his name is an A, not a G. So that was a mistake by me. Sorry about that. And then we'll go on to the last fight. And we've got Kaiwan Lee versus Dong Hwan Xiao. And this is a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. But Styles a plus 220, so I'm automatically going to throw probably a half a unit on him. So that's what I'm going to do with this one here. I think it's a bad matchup for Lee, to be honest. Lee is a power puncher. He's got a lot of power. He could knock he could actually knock Sal out in any round. But I see Sal to be the better technical striker. He's going to have good combos. He's going to be a good counter striker. I just think it's a bad matchup because Lee is going to leave himself open at some point and leave himself to get caught with something. If you got an under 2.5 at a decent price, I would definitely take that. I think it's going to end in a knockout either way. So those are my plays. Those are my leans, and so. And then I got the one dog money line play that I'm going to play on the last fight. So that's pretty much what I got for this card. If anyone has any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. If any other lines come out, I'll post it in the comments on what I'm going to do. So I hopefully we get some of these wagers right, and if you tail them, then hopefully we cash and make a little bank here. And I will see you on the next video.